I'm Jason LaRocca. I'm a scoring mixer and a music producer, and this is Blackrock Audio. I started out as a guitar player, so I was inspired by rock music that my parents showed me on vinyl when I was young. So I think I can remember listening to Revolver by the Beatles and just being completely inspired by this completely amazing sonic landscape that I had never heard before. And I was just knew, I think at a pretty young age, that I wanted to be involved in music somehow, in some way. So it started out that way with being in bands and my teens, and then growing into production and engineering and into film and scoring for film and TV. I've worked on movies like Paddington and The Accountant, Joy, and TV as well. I work on the score for the Emmy and Golden Globe winning TV show American Crime and Once Upon a Time for ABC. I think Paddington was particularly exciting for me. It was my first time recording and mixing at Air, and the composer, Nick Urata, just wrote an amazing score. It was really beautiful, and it was really exciting in getting to record and mix that in such a wonderful studio with just incredible musicians. I mean, everybody involved was just did such an amazing job. Well, the current setup here, it's mostly in the box for me. I've got the control surfaces and mostly plug-in based, but I have some hardware stuff that I will use depending on the mix. I've got my Manley and some more outboard gear and EQs and things that I might use. But a lot of the time it's pretty in the box. Sometimes I'll use an outboard reverb, and sometimes we mix analog on a console, so I will use reverbs then. Use the TC6000 a lot for those kinds of purposes. I mix a lot of TV in 5.1 now. In the past, maybe I would mix the music for TV in stereo, and film would be in 5.1 or 7.1 or something like that for a theatrical release. So, I think the line is a little bit blurred for me now in terms of the differences. But having said that, television is listened to on anything from headphones on an iPad to a ginormous home theater system, and that is not always the case with theatrical release. You've usually got more of a standard listening environment than you would for TV. So there's certain things I might look out for, especially things in the low end and things like that may not translate as well for TV mixes. I try and keep evolving by just staying inspired by the music and what I'm working on, and really feel like the desire to constantly try and make the next thing I work on the best thing I've ever done and the best sonic results I've ever achieved.